bring in Democratic Congressman John Garamendi of California. He's a member of the Armed Services Committee. Congressman, what do you make of these two filings on Michael Cohen, the president's longtime lawyer and fixer, spent a decade working with Donald Trump? What does it tell you about the Mueller investigation?
Well, this particular filing is not the only one. The president clearly has surrounded himself with people that are willing to commit crimes and have been found guilty of crimes. You might say he's the head of a criminal family. And you take a look, why is all this taking place? What does all this mean? Well, eventually it's going to mean some very serious investigations by Congress. What will be the outcome of that remains to be seen. Mueller's going to do more investigations. But looking at the world in which we live today, clearly all of this is a very clear indication of why this president has been so cozy to Russia and so unwilling to hold that country and Putin accountable for their illegal actions, most recently having to do with the Ukrainian ships being seized. It all fits together, and what is taking place here is that the interest of the United States, the interest of America and the world around us are being held hostage to the president's understanding of his own peculiar and terrible criminal situation. Where is this going to go? It's going to go, it seems to me, with the president being indicted, or at least up to that point, and it's going to go to Congress taking on a very serious and very, very appropriate investigation, and you might call it the opening days of an impeachment. We're getting to that point now. And by the way, the word conspiracy has not been broached in this entire conversation. But when an individual conspires with another to break the law, that is a felony. That is a conspiracy. Now, is it an obstruction of justice? Probably so. We have some very, very serious issues here. Mueller's going to complete his investigation. The Southern District Court and the prosecutors there will complete their investigation. And then it's going to come right into the laps of the Democratic Congress. And we have so many other things to do. But I don't think we're going to be able to get them done until we deal with this very serious situation of a president that clearly has surrounded himself with criminals.
Well, you mentioned the word impeachment, Congressman. Which impeachable offenses potentially do you see on the part of the President of the United States, specifically as far as these two documents released just now are concerned?
When we look at these filings, when we look at the other filings that have been made and the other charges that have been laid out against the Russians, against the GRU and others, and the president standing in front of the American public and inviting Russia to involve itself in the election, we're coming down to a situation where during the campaign, laws were broken. There's no doubt about that at this point. In fact, Cohen has pleaded guilty to that fact. And now we have the president implicated in that. Are there sufficient collaboration that the president actually did it? I suspect we're going to find out, and probably the answer is yes. Now we're in a situation where high crimes and misdemeanors have occurred. That's what the Constitution says. Is it a political issue? Of course it will be. But let's understand it is also a responsibility of the Congress to investigate, and where there has been high crimes and misdemeanors, we must take action. Now, there's other things that are floating around. The emoluments clause is out there. All of that remains unresolved, and it's out there. Clearly, the Trump Hotel, International Hotel here in Washington, has been the source of enormous income to the Trump's organization. Is that an emolument violation? Well, we're going to find out, because those cases are moving forward. All of that, back away from it, and look where our country is today. Look at what this president has done to our country, just in terms of the turmoil, in terms of not only the crimes that have taken place, but the turmoil, the relationships with Russia, basically giving them a free hand to take over and to take these actions not only in the Ukraine situation, but in the Syrian situation. Right. Backing away. We've got a very serious problem here. We're going to have to deal with it in the days ahead. What we're hearing today is just one more one more shoe that has fallen along a line of very, very troublesome and frankly very, very sad circumstances for this nation.
And we'll see how the new Democratic majority in the House of Representatives after January 3rd deals with all of this. Congressman Garamendi, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to have a lot more on the breaking news right after this.